Living in a metropolis like Hong Kong, life is always busy. Looking at the crowds shuttling among those skyscraper towers, we can see that everyone is in a rush. According to UBS annual prices and earnings study, the average working hours in Hong Kong are 50.1 hours per week, ranking the longest in the world. With such heavy workload, every minute is a race against time. Multitasking seems to be a great choice to save time. Doing homework while making phone calls, walking on the road while texting with friends, preparing lunch while watching shows on iPad. Multitasking is actually quite common in our daily life.
But how do people really say it? Let's do some interviews and see what they think.
Do you often multitask in your daily life? Can you give some specific examples?
For example, I will wash the dishes or prepare dinner, then I will put off in the podcast, or I will listen to the radio at the same time.
My job is the typical the multitasking nature. I have to deal with my filing work or document, but maybe at the same time, students will come and ask about some inquiries for their program.
What do you think are the benefits and risks of multitasking?
It helps you to do something productive, at the same time you do something rather boring or routine.
It means that you can do 2 tasks in a short time. However, you may screw up in your task because you cannot pay attention to 2 tasks at the same time.
Benefits is it saves on time, but the disadvantage is that the quality of your work declines.
What factors do you think that will affect human multitasking ability?
The factor that will help you multitask is when you do something as a habit.
I think the personality is the most important, and another thing is the familiar of the own work nature.
I think that like in some level, say like Hong Kong or some other so-called well-developed cities, okay, there are so many things happening in the same moment. So in other words, you are in an environment that you have to do multitasking. Okay, even say if you are in Hong Kong and then see the phone will be coming and I have to pick up the phone.
Actually, most of our interviews' opinions are supported by scientific researches. According to Joyce Wang from Ohio State University, multitasking could make people more relaxed and satisfied with ongoing tasks. However, a study by Stanford University also showed that multitasking will run the risk of impairing memories and making people less focused on important tasks. Researchers like Laws, Anderson, and Brascom suggest that factors like gender, cognitive ability, and familiarity with the task could all make a difference on each individual's multitasking ability.
Despite researchers' concerns that multitasking may negatively affect the brain's ability to process information, the increasing prevalence of communication technologies among university students has still created a generation of multitaskers. To find out the influence of multitasking, we have conducted an experiment to explore how it affects our mathematical calculation ability. We recruited 20 volunteers and prepared 2 sets of math tests with roughly equal difficulty and same number of questions. We let the first half volunteers do test A with no music, while the second half took the same test with their favorite music on, and then reversed the groups for test B. In the end, each volunteer took 1 test while fully focused and 1 test while multitasking. After recording the time and marking their papers, we used statistical methods to analyze the influence of multitasking on 2 variables, which are the speed and accuracy of their calculation.
Our hypothesis is that multitasking has a negative effect on the efficiency, so we expect that listening to music would cause increase in time and decrease in accuracy. In fact, The experiment showed that about 60% of participants spent more time on finishing the exercises when listening to their favorite music, and the overall mean time was increased by 4.3%. On the other hand, 40% of them increased their accuracy with their music on, and the mean accuracy only decreased by 0.84%, which is statistically not a significant difference. Therefore, the experiment indicates that multitasking makes people spend more time finishing math calculations, but it does not have much influence on their accuracy. So, even though the experimental result does not fully agree with our hypothesis, it still indicates that multitasking will hamper the efficiency of math calculations.
Overall, we can see that multitasking has its pros and cons. It makes us feel relaxed and satisfied, but negatively affects our efficiency and performance. So our suggestion is that we should not multitask when we are studying or working, which requires high level of concentration and logical thinking. But for simple routines like cooking, multitasking may be a great choice so that we won't feel boring.
But living in a fast-paced city like Hong Kong, when we are studying or at work, we may still have to multitask, try to get familiar with our work, improve our cognitive ability and reading skills through training. A high level of multitasking ability is definitely beneficial.
Thank you for watching.